Good evening. Oh,
Hello. Please mute your phones and turn your attention to the public safety announcement. In the event of an emergency at NJ Transit, your safety is our top priority. Please follow these important instructions. In case of an emergency, announcements will be made over the loudspeaker or by a uniformed police officer. If necessary, CPR will be administered using the defibrillator. Please do not approach the dais. Documents can be presented to staff at the entrance to the boardroom. Please follow the directions of NJ Transit Police and staff. Thank you and have a safe day.
good evening. I hereby call to order the Board of Directors meetings of the New Jersey Transit Corporation, New Jersey Transit Rail Operation, Inc., New Jersey Transit Bus Operation, Inc., New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., and New Jersey Transit Morris, Inc. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Abrantes? Here. Board Member McCray? Here. Board Member Nara? Oh, we just lost her. Board Member Thomas?
Here.
Board Member Weiss?
Board Member Weiss? Here.
Board Member Nara? Board Member Caniff?
Here.
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
Chair O'Connor?
here.
Board Member Nara, can you hear us? You're muted at the moment. Okay, we see you're online. She's going to be joining us in person shortly. For the record, Board Member Weiss is participating remotely. Board Member Nara is participating remotely until she arrives, and Board Member Morocco is absent. This is a meeting of the New Jersey Transit Corporation and its affiliates and subsidiaries. Adequate notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJ Transit's enabling legislation. Notice was filed on November 6, 2025 with the Secretary of State and sent to newspapers of general distribution, posted in the main entrance of NJ Transit's headquarters, published on the corporation's website, and sent to each individual agency and organization that requested such notice.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 9, 2025 board meetings? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion carried.
Anna Marie will present the advisory committee report.
Virtually on Friday, October 24th. We received a presentation from New Jersey Transit's Police Chief, Christopher Trusillo, on system-wide safety and security. The PACs commend the hardworking men and women of the force who provide the public with safe traveling on transit system, and we support any funding necessary to help them in their efforts. A presentation was given by customer advocate Frank Beaumont on the Philadelphia 30th Street Station We Are Listening Forum. Members received legislative and government and community relations updates from Chief Paul Wyckoff and Senior Director Barbara Lazaro. On October 9th, New Jersey Transit showcased its fare collection modernization efforts during an event at Secaucus Junction, featuring high-tech fare gates, fare pay cards, new bus fare box registers, new mobile validation devices used by train crews, updated ticket vending machines, and web ticketing platform. On October 15th, Transit unveiled the land plan leveraging assets for non-fare box dollars during an event at Metro Park Station. The plan is a roadmap that maximizes non-fare box revenue opportunities over the next 30 years. The following day, October 16th, Transit launched a pilot utilizing technology of 2 new apps to improve accessibility at Hoboken Terminal and Newark Penn Station for visibility impaired customers and those using American Sign Language. Other information noted, Transit has begun seasonal use of 2 AquaTrack machines to clean and remove leaves from rail lines. Transit continues to advance the restoration of the Lackawanna Ferry Terminal at the historic Hoboken Terminal, seeking a qualified entity to become an anchor transit for the second floor through the release of RFQ&P. Senior Vice President of Capital Delivery, Bill Brooks, was honored with the prestigious Eagle Award from the New Jersey Alliance for Action on October 31st, 2025. New Jersey Transit completed exterior renovations at the Mahwah Station. Transit salutes veterans with complimentary rides for all active veterans and retired military personnel on Veterans Day, November the 11th. That was yesterday. The following resolutions are supported by the PACs. 2511-49, provisions of the additional funding authorization and execution of a 10-month extension for contract 19-002 for the provision of access link service in Region 2. 2511-51, Riverline creation of operating subsidiary, New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail Incorporated. 2511-52, multi-level overhaul and modernization project. Further, I will be attending a Riverline community meeting tomorrow night in Palmyra. And lastly, the next PAC meeting is scheduled for December 12th, 2025. That concludes my report, Chairman O'Connor.
Thank you, Anna Marie. Are there any comments from the public?
There are 2 in-person speakers and 1 pre-registered telephone speaker. Speakers, in order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Priority access will be given to in-person speakers. We will then take comments from pre-registered telephone speakers, followed by any additional telephone participants who are queued to speak. Those participating by telephone, if you have not already done so, please press *1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. The first speaker is Gloria Mills, followed by Vito Havrilla.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gloria Robinson Mills, and I'm the spokesperson for ScatterTech, Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory Committee. Instead of our usual monthly report, today I'll be providing an update that covers the past 2 months of the committee's work. We are continuing our county panel presentations, and on September 29, 2025, Hudson County was invited to present on the services they provide to the senior citizens and disabled residents in their area. The following month, on October 27, 2025, Cape May County outlined details of their program and their goals for 2026. Both counties are doing a great job in serving their residents. Also in October, several members attended the New Jersey Transit informational public hearings for the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Assistance Program. The annual hearings give the public an opportunity to express their views regarding the program. For our committee reports, the Bylaws Subcommittee has been meeting and working diligently to update the bylaws. This has been a challenging process due to many unprecedented issues that have arisen in the past couple of years. The committee is working to present a final draft to the entire committee for their review. Hopefully, we will be able to report in December the revision of the bylaws as one of the committee's accomplishments for this year. The membership committee is still seeking viable candidates interested in ScatterTech to fill our openings in the Central and South regions. It is also now time for the reappointment of the membership committee members of at least 4 of our members. The Membership and Governance Committee will be meeting to begin the process evaluation. I reported at our last ScatterTAC meeting on October 27th, 2025, that it was revealed during a statement made by a ScatterTAC member at the New Jersey Transit Board of Directors meeting in June that documents were provided to the President and CEO, Chris Calori, supporting ScatterTAC to have a broad purview. These documents were presented to Mr. Calori early on during his tenure in an effort to pressure Mr. Calori to rescind a directive from the previous president of New Jersey Transit, Mr. Kevin Corbett. Mr. Corbett clarified that ScatterTAC's purview was not broad, but rather was limited only to those duties established by the statute. Such an action by this member was taken on behalf of the committee without discussion or approval by the committee. This would constitute a violation of the bylaws. A formal complaint will be forwarded to the Governance Committee to address this concern. In addition, the committee understands that we serve on this committee at the pleasure of the President and CEO of New Jersey Transit. We do not question or challenge the President and CEO. We understand that the President has the ability to remove any individual from voluntary membership on this committee. In conclusion, the ScatterTAC committee members are not challenging any directive from the President and CEO of New Jersey Transit and will continue to work respectfully with local programs for support and collaboration. This concludes the ScatterTAC report.
Thank you. Next is Vito Havrila, followed by Dan Schnitzer.
Hello, my name is Vito Havrila. I am the Vice Chair and Legislative Director of the Lackawanna Coalition. Our website's lackawannacoalition.org. We put out the railgram, new copy right here. Come see me if you want a copy of it, the newest issue. I'll be reading our board statement. There's 6 items. So first item, action item 211-49. There is a typo, so it's It's not 210-49, it's 2511-49. Access link. As we said last month, this is an important service for many New Jersey residents who are unable to use scheduled transit services. We don't know why the potentially disruptive contract provision, which you don't describe in detail, was discovered so late that an extension of the current contract for almost a year became necessary. We hope that this is addressed as quickly and efficiently as possible. Next, action item 2511-51, Riverline. Creation of operating subsidiary, NJ Transit Southern Light Rail Incorporated. We are hoping for a successful transition to NJ Transit operation of the Riverline and improve operation in the future, especially as it has been particularly bad recently. Maybe we can even get better time connections with Trenton trains. Congratulations to Michael Kilcoyne on his appointment as Senior Vice President, General Manager of the new NJT subsidiary. Would this be time to combine Southern Light Rail with the Hudson, Bergen, and Newark Light Rail lines to have parity with NJT Bus and NJT Rail? Next, congratulations to Frank Beaumont on completing his first year at NJT. We have established a good working relationship with Frank, who has been responsive to our questions and emails. He has provided insight into policy and operations within NJ Transit and has brought our questions to management. We look forward to continuing the relationship. Montclair Boonton Line, 3 items. First, on Saturday, November 1st, we noted a Montclair train that was using 4-car set as the usual 3. We had suggested a longer set. Appreciate that you did use a longer set on that holiday weekend. Next, there is damage on the bridge at Chestnut Street in Montclair. Riders were told to submit feedback through the website or phone. We would like to amplify their concern and ask that they be addressed. Last, we continue to request hourly weekend service on this line between Hoboken and Montclair State University. Next, Raritan Valley Line. This Saturday, there will be substitute busing on the Raritan Valley Line because of track work. The line needs an alternative, such as reactivating the train line to Elizabeth. In addition, you should formally allow cross-honoring buses such as 113, 114, and 59. Last item, Warren County. One of our members suggested a restructuring of the 890 and 891 to rationalize/streamline the routes and allow for more frequent service. This suggestion deserves a thorough and proper review rather than being casually dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Dan Nitzer.
Yes, hello. Good pronunciation. Dan Nitzer, Jersey City. I got here via taking the PATH and NJ Transit bus, and I'm here to talk about NJ Transit doing the bare minimum in terms of electric buses in the recent order that was completed earlier this year. It's disappointing. You know, I'm reviewing the website's page on zero emissions buses. I think the rationale for wanting to get to zero emissions as quick as possible doesn't need to be repeated. But I'll say that in addition to the many climate benefits that it would achieve, studies are frequently showing that electrification of buses and all forms of transportation are actually cost effective. Maybe not in year 1, but certainly by year 3 and year 5, even as the price of electricity continues to rise with AI data centers. NJT owns land on which it might consider developing and expanding community solar programs, other forms of renewable energy with which to charge the electric buses. But even if all NJT electric buses are charged with fossil fuel sources, say plugging it into an outlet that is charged specifically by coal or gas, that is still so much more efficient and protects my generation, future generations from the worst effects of the climate crisis. According to the zero emission buses statement on your website, the goal set aside in early 2020 was to make sure that by the end of 2025, at least 10% of all new bus orders were electric. And, you know, I see from the press release and media coverage of this recent order a couple months ago that exactly 10% of the electric buses, the new buses, were electric. I don't really see that as a good thing. I see that as the bare minimum at a time when we're in a climate crisis and an economic crisis. I see also on that same webpage, and it's zero emissions buses, you can find it very easily, that the mandate set aside by Governor Murphy in early 2020 required that by December 2026, 50% of all new buses purchased would be electric. I know that this recent order of buses was very large, perhaps the largest in the history of NJT, so I would expect that it was done in part to sort of circumvent these self-prescribed rules and regulations. I would expect that after ordering several hundred buses, there will not be another large-scale order of buses, meaning that there's no chance for anywhere near 50% of NJT's bus fleet to be electric this decade. And I think at a time when federal rules are rolling back anything about the climate crisis, we're losing funding, our energy bills keep going up, and there's no investments in renewable energy at the federal level. I think NJT has a responsibility to the stakeholders, to the taxpayers like myself, to make that happen. And I think doing the bare minimum in terms of bus orders sets a bad precedent. Thank you for your time, and I hope to ride electric buses one day.
Thank you. Next is Rebecca Lee, followed by the telephone participants.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Lee. I have two topics on which I'd like to speak to you, so I will be brief on both. One is that I would like to continue, I know other people have spoken to you before about this, but I would like to continue to push for trains to run on the Montclair-Boonton line more than once every 2 hours during the weekends. There are a lot of people who work in industries that are not typical Monday to Friday 9 to 5 in New York City. And so in addition to sort of the cutoff of cultural potential in people not being able to get in and out of the city during that time, it's also a matter for a lot of people of economics. My second issue is, you'll have to excuse me a moment because I need to remember what the exact bus stop is, but bus stop 17680, there used to be a bench there, which was oftentimes used by elderly bus riders who were waiting for their buses. That bench no longer exists. I don't know why it was removed. There could have been a very good reason, but since that has happened, I've seen several elderly people almost fall over from exhaustion waiting at that bus stop. So I would like for some sort of alternative to be considered, because it's not really to some degree, it's a safety issue, more than just an issue of comfort. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Operator, please open the floor to public comments by telephone participants.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you have not already done so, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you've successfully entered the queue. Each person will be given 3 minutes for their public comments. A warning will be provided with 1 minute remaining, and again with 15 seconds remaining. And there were 7 speakers in queue. First public comment is coming from Sally Jane Gellert. Sally, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Okay, this is Sally Jane Gellert. I am speaking today on a personal matter for myself alone, for nobody else, for no other individual or organization. Repeating, for myself alone. I disagree with much of Gloria Mills' presentation, other than the factual description of our September and October meetings, which were correct. As is her right, but not in accordance with past practice of the last couple of chairpersons, she did not share her text with members beforehand, at least not to my knowledge, as a member of the committee. Her presentation was biased and included at least one outright lie, as the presentation in June to which she referred was clearly identified at that time as a personal, not a committee report. I will be bringing this concern to the Governance Committee to be addressed. Again, my understanding is that we are operating under the published rules, which omitted the limitation on the committee's purview that was snuck into the draft before the initial publication, and in fact was presented to a visually challenged member of our committee without even a notification that there was a change. You may remember that those rules were tabled originally in order that the discrepancy could be worked out, and as it was, the limiting language was withdrawn, and ever since our committee has been distracted by the attempt to restore this new limitation, which goes against the original legislation. I find it extremely disturbing that the chairperson is dragging out controversies that we had hoped could be put behind us so that we could actually do our work. I understand the Bylaws Committee meeting that was scheduled during my radio show this morning actually went quite well, and that progress was being made. And now here we are, a few hours later, dragged back down. Let's see, what else what I was planning to say was to invite you all to join the Lackawanna Coalition in person or on Zoom for our 4th Monday meetings at the Summit Free Public Library. We have been invited, the Lackawanna Coalition, to be a participant in Milburn's 250th U.S. birthday celebration with a tile in the mural that they are putting together, and we are pleased to be doing that. Currently, we're meeting at the Summit Library while Milburn Town Hall is being restored. We met in that conference room from our founding until the renovations of the town hall. My computer just hid my script from me, so thank you very much.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Adam Reich. Adam, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good evening. Adam Reich speaking, as always, in strictly a personal capacity. I'm a little dismayed by Gloria Mills' comments regarding Scattertack. It's important to note that every member on that committee has a First Amendment right, and that includes lobbying for the purview of the committee. I think if it's the member who I'm thinking of, this member has made it abundantly clear anytime they speak that they speak in a personal capacity in a public forum like this. And it seems like the proper thing for a committee member to do is to defend the work of that committee. If my ridership experience has taught me anything over the past 5+ years, it's that accessibility touches upon everything, that it's the daily experience on board. It's dealing with a crew member who doesn't maybe recognize that you have a need for a disability modification. It's asking for a direct contact with the Office of Civil Rights because you have onboard issues that customer service doesn't seem to understand or know or care to truly resolve. It is about ensuring that regardless of what mode you take, that you have people dedicated and understanding your plight, able to act on your behalf, and to not have that purview needlessly curtailed. At a time when you're asking for additional members for the Central region, you should be doing all you can to ensure that you will embrace zealous advocacy, that provided you do as members have done here and have done in the past, making it clear that when you're speaking in your personal capacity, that you're doing so as members repeatedly do. Again, it is fine and good and appropriate for a member to be saying, hey, let us do the historic work we've been doing. Don't narrow the scope of what we do, because disability issues, disability rights, accessibility issues touch upon anything and everything with New Jersey Transit. Riders with disabilities don't just ride Access Link. They use the trains, they use the buses, they use light rail. They deal with customer service. They deal with professionals day in and day out. So I must ask, especially if this is a second attempt to charge a member with something, this does seem like something of a retaliatory move simply for advocating for a broad view for this committee. I would ask ScatterTAC members to strongly reconsider this, especially if you're trying to recruit other people. I'm concerned that New Jersey Transit often turns a blind eye to acting to retaliate against views that are not popular. I myself found the president and CEO in a highly unusual move, calling out my name and my occupation in response to defending a ScatterTAC committee member a few months ago. I ask that we turn this temperature down and perhaps look at this with a more independent view and understand that dissenting views are okay, that it's good to have a healthy discussion, and that it's good for a disability rights concerned committee to have a broad purview, not limited to a very narrow and unreasonably limited scope. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment will come from William Ritzler. William, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Thank you and good evening. I am chairman of the Public Transit Subcommittee for Tri-County Sustainability, the regional hub for 101 towns, 10 legislative districts, and 1.3 million residents across Burlington, Camden, and Gloucester counties in southern New Jersey, working in coalition with like-minded organizations. Although the recent election cycle has created a level of political certainty for the next 4 years, many issues regarding the southern region of New Jersey Transit bus and rail operations remain unresolved or incomplete. On the bus side, the new bus BCG, the much-needed regional bus network evaluation and redesign study, remains suspended with no public indication of status or time frame for conclusion. Residents of southern New Jersey continue to experience extremely long headways on many of the 300, 400, and 500 series routes, reflecting the region's status as a transit desert. In many circumstances, third-shift workers find schedules to be extremely inconvenient, forcing them to endure greater than 1 hour wait times, sometimes exposed to the weather, that significantly degrade their quality of life. On the rail side, both the Atlantic City Rail Line and the River Line continue to experience reliability problems in the forms of many significant delays and service disruptions or outright cancellations. The Glassboro-Camden Line project seems yet again to be stuck in limbo, having passed the originally scheduled 30% design completion target of the third quarter of 2025 with no recent public indication of project status or timeline for the RFP and contractor selection process to move forward. All the circumstances that I've just identified above serve to diminish the appeal of public transportation for existing and potential passengers. The direct result of this is fewer riders, an outcome that should strike all of you as unacceptable
1 minute remaining.
given the current and future funding and operational challenges faced by New Jersey Transit. It is possible that some of the directors and staff may not continue to be a part of New Jersey Transit as a result of the transition to a new administration. TCS uses this forum as a mechanism to, first, request that the concerns of public transit passengers in southern New Jersey be conveyed to the incoming leadership both within New Jersey Transit and to those in the political realm with clarity and urgency. And secondly, to ask that the new administration of Governor-elect Sherrill implement a restructuring of the New Jersey Transit Board based on geographic representation to provide an opportunity for the residents of southern New Jersey to have a voice of advocacy for their specific concerns on the New Jersey Transit Board, something they now lack. South Jersey showed up for the governor-elect last week. We'll hope she'll show up for us over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Anna Leone. Anna, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to thank every board member for their service. My name is Anna Leone, and I live in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and I'm here to talk about Access Link, specifically the new buses that have been put into service. I just wanted to let you know that the new buses are horrendous. They are a safety issue, a death threat, and it will be a lawsuit waiting to happen. They are not conducive to people with disabilities. One cannot walk down the aisle. One cannot even walk sideways down the aisle. You could be a skinny mini or an anorexic and cannot fit through the spacing, which I believe is less than 12 inches, to walk down the aisle. It's also my understanding that if you have an electric wheelchair, that bus cannot accommodate an electric wheelchair. There is also 6 inches spacing from the seat behind the bus driver. And firstly, I don't even think a child could fit in that seat. And if one were strapped in and the bus had to suddenly stop, that person would damage their head severely. Also, there are strips throughout the bus. They're elevated strips. So if one were to walk down the aisle or attempt to walk down the aisle, you could easily twist your ankle. I don't know who designed this bus. Definitely not for people with disabilities. And I don't know who from NJT designed or ordered these buses. And I would like to challenge any board member to ride that bus with me, and I would be happy to point out all of the shortcomings.
1 minute remaining.
Okay. My second topic would be the computer system. The computer system has been going down very, very often. The other day, the bus drivers had to call in almost every pickup and drop-off for over 8 hours. I've spoken about this in the past. Nothing has been done. I said all these little fixes are just a Band-Aid approach to a gunshot wound. It's just not going to work. It's a Fred Flintstone system. Same thing with making phone calls. The system is slow. It doesn't work. It crashes. I don't know what's going on, but there has to be a fix to that as well. And lastly, virtual assistant isn't working properly. So please look into that. It hangs up on you when you need to speak with an agent and vice versa. Thank you very much for your time and have a great evening.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from David Allen. David, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good evening. I am David Peter Allen making a personal statement. That means only for myself. I had not intended to talk about Scattertack tonight, but the remarks of our chair, Gloria Mills, shocked me and blindsided me. I had no idea that she was going to say what she said, and I appreciate what Sally Gellert and Adam Reich had to say. I thank you both for your concern. I support those concerns completely. What is being done feels like retaliation for exercising my rights under the First Amendment to the United States Constitution and Article 1, Paragraph 18 of the New Jersey Constitution, as well as my 14th Amendment rights and my rights under elsewhere in Article 1 of the New Jersey Constitution and by statute. I will not go into particulars tonight. I must review the situation, but I thank Sally and I thank Adam Reich for their concern. Now to what I was going to say tonight. I commend NJ Transit for taking direct control of the River Line. Through the years, I have advocated for this because it gives the agency the authority it needs to manage the line properly and saves money by eliminating a layer of bureaucracy. I wish Mike Kilcoyne well in his efforts concerning the line. I know he has done good things on the bus side, especially when he helped clear chronic traffic jams at Port Authority Bus Terminal several years ago. I am aware that the Stadler cars now on the River Line have had problems, and I have a suggestion. There is a system called Pop-Up Metro which can set up an operation on a line where a temporal separation is required, as is the case on the River Line. They use transit cars that formerly ran in London and are now battery operated. This might be a solution to the problems with the Stadler cars. I moderated a panel about this at a conference last month sponsored by Railway Age, and I have reported about it in that publication. I have no financial interest in Pop-Up Metro, and I am merely making a suggestion. Attorney Nara, I appreciate the concern that you expressed last month for the complaint I had about the bus service. The one you mentioned was about a lack of information regarding a bus route that is operated by another carrier but under NJ Transit's flag. All I learned from customer service was that the bus had broken down, which I already knew. This happened to me twice on the same route, the 817 going from South Amboy to Keyport. My complaint was otherwise ignored. That incident resulted in complaint number 017769444, which I filed on September 18th. On October 14th, I received what was purported to be a reply, but which was not responsive. It said there was some sort of investigation and the bus had a technical problem, could not be tracked. Coach USA never responded substantively. Either my general request for information as a matter of policy was acknowledged but not answered in substance. I would appreciate any effort that could start a serious discussion about these issues because I never get answers to my concerns about bus service on New Jersey Transit, including one about the 870.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Jeff Rinkiewicz. Jeff, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Hi, my first name is Jesse. I think you misenunciated my name. My speech here that I have for today is for 8 years or more, the Department of Transportation has been spending federal funds on highway infrastructure and roads. Those highways have been costing the taxpayers more money as opposed to restoring the rails. From financial standpoints, the rising cost of personal vehicles has tripled in price. In addition, the job outlook for our state is down to 40%, so there is an employment scarcity. Our area, including this state, should provide opportunities for strong careers as a good start. Also, a pilot plan of providing better transportation service as far as a rail network would be a fresh start. Currently, there is a need for passenger rail networks. The issue at stake is that this decision for a rail network system hasn't been planned formally. The team of NJ Transit should get a plan rolling for January 1 for the new governor of New Jersey. We need rail service just the same as North Jersey has. The counties that are lacking service is Salem, Cumberland, and Cape May. The Cape May Canal Swing Bridge and the Pine Barrens are the details of this message, including the River Line should be extended into Salem County, including an extension for the GCL towards West Elmer Road and Northeast Boulevard in Vineland. And I also wanted to point out that I passed this information to both of the offices of U.S. Senator Cory Booker and Senator Michael Testa. So I wanted to just provide that information to pass along for the next gubernatorial candidate. I hope that South Jersey gets a network system that's hopefully maybe 2/3 as decent as North Jersey, or at least like 3/4, where it has a better efficient transportation service that will help in a more cost-effective
1 minute
method.
remaining.
So this way we got more than just using a bus service, that we have a rail service as well. And the deadline for the Cape May Seashore Lines ends on July 31st, 2029. So these are all the details and facts that I've listened to other speakers and added some more stuff. So if you want, I can send you more of this information that I wrote down. I'll gladly send it. All right. Thank you all. You have a great day.
Thank you. And the next public comment is coming from Andy Weiss. Andy, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good evening. The NJ Transit bus system is a complete disaster, and we need a new executive team that cares. I have seen pictures and videos of buses with a massive amount of dangerous mold and cockroaches. I've seen mold and cockroaches. Buses are riding around with mold and roaches while your executives get paid while failing us. I have personally walked into many buses, myself, into many buses that are covered with urine on the floor from, I believe, homeless people sleeping on the buses overnight. Oh, I believe I was told by a bus driver that they're sleeping on buses overnight. I've seen a beer can rolling down the bus floor when I got onto my bus around 5:30 in the morning. Their urine smell was overwhelming. So I think that people are sleeping on the buses and causing all of the dirt and filthy conditions, roaches and everything. NJ Transit CEO only cares about commuter rail, which he talks about 95% of the time while more people take buses, and rarely talks about his third world terrible bus system that is run by his failed executives. The buses are filthy, and we need a new executive team that is held accountable. We need more NJ Transit bus service during middays, evenings, and weekends. We have asked the awful NJ Transit Board and horrible corporate office to add much more service frequency, and we are ignored. We need bus rapid transit on Kennedy Boulevard in Hudson County. We have no bus rapid transit in the state of New Jersey, none. Most crowded and dense state in America. Mr. Clory and the NJ Transit Board refuse to advertise that we have a customer advocate and are trying to hide his position. NJ Transit has a marketing team.
1 minute remaining.
That refuses to advertise the customer advocate at NJ Transit stations, buses, trains, and light rail. Why is Chris Caloria hiding the customer advocate position, not ordering the marketing team to advertise his position? Why are you hiding the NJ Transit customer and not marketing his position? The NJ Transit corporate office is the problem. They are the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem, and you keep blaming everybody else for your failures. The same failed NJ Transit corporate office executives are still getting paychecks, big paychecks, and nothing will get better when these people remain employed. We need bus rapid transit in Hudson County now. We need bus rapid transit in Hudson County now.
15 seconds.
Clean your buses now. No more obsolete NJ Transit one-door cruiser buses. No more obsolete NJ Transit one-door cruiser buses. Thank you.
Thank you. And there were no other public comments at this time.
Thank you, public speakers. Are there any board member comments?
Megan, I guess a couple
Vice
from
Chair?
me. There are a couple of statements raised about safety. There was one about the Chestnut Street Bridge. I don't know if that's cosmetic damage or, where the issue is. There was one raised around the bench that was removed from the bus stop, seats for the elderly, and there were comments around access links. So I think it would be helpful if staff can give just a view to the board around those issues and get more insight around that. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional board member comments? Okay.
Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me address a few of the issues that were raised. Let me get to Mr. Nitzer first. I just want to assure you that we are not only fully aware of the governor's zero emission mandate and the state's zero emission mandate, but we are actually following through on our commitment. And I know you recognize it. But I also want to understand, I want to make sure you understand, that there are a couple of large issues that are brewing. From a policy standpoint, as I'm sure you're aware, there's a shift in prioritization by the federal government on what they're going to spend the money on. and EVs, for the moment, are just not in the cards. Having said that, we are still moving forward on investing in infrastructure because we believe in long-term investments. We don't think about things in 1 and 2 and 3 years. We think about 20 and 30 and 40 years. The garages we're building will not prohibit future additions of any zero-emission technology that we think is appropriate for our fleet. Equally important, and perhaps you weren't aware, but let me be the first to tell you if you weren't. New Flyer Bus, which is the largest and the single manufacturer of our buses, is the only manufacturer of EV buses in the United States, and all their buses have been recalled for EVs. You may not be aware of it. That means if you order a bus today and if it's in service, it is effectively recalled based on where we are. So what we will not do is go forward and spend money chasing after a problem product. It is not safe for you, it is not safe for us, and frankly, it's not good for the taxpayers. You need to know that, having said all this, our commitment is still to this mandate of getting to a zero-emission goal. No one believes in climate change and being part of a solution more than New Jersey Transit. That's why we are the mass transit agency. I want you to know that, Mr. Nitzer, because we appreciate you coming here and making your point, but this is an important issue for us. We take it very seriously. We're not casually dismissing your point, nor are we unaware of our obligation, number one. Ms. Lee, as the Vice Chairman brought up, the bus shelter is an important issue. As you may be aware, bus shelters are primarily the responsibility of the municipalities once we give it to them. We are going to work with the municipality, if you'd be kind enough to, I know you gave the number of the bus shelter. We will work with them to make sure we get to a right answer on this. This is important. We want to make sure our customers are comfortable and safe when we get to places. And Madam Vice Chair, we will make sure we follow up on the other issues for you. To my good friend, Madam Reich, I think you have a warped sense of what the word retaliation means. I was trying to be a good friend and give you the proper advice. And you seem to have been following it obediently, I might add, since I pointed out to you. So I'm not sure I would be using the word retaliation on what I said to you. Let me, Mr. Chairman, my attention to a few important issues. Governor-elect Cheryl will be taking office on January 20th. We look forward to working with her team, just like the governor's office. Our commitment with the board and the staff here is to make sure we are a source of help, but we also provide meaningful roadmaps on what the next administration can do to implement her vision. But we stand ready to do just that. I want to pivot to revenue generation and revenue protection, if you don't mind. Revenue generation is not just about fares, it's also about non-fare revenue. A month ago, working with Gagandeep Singh, our Vice President of Real Estate, Senior Vice President of Real Estate, we announced a program called the Land Plan, which essentially is about leveraging the 8,000 acres of land we own to build transit-oriented development, renewable energy projects, and other commercial development projects, including data centers and so on and so forth. This is the first time in a unified way in which New Jersey Transit has put forward this idea. What does that mean for us? For New Jersey Transit, it means $1.9 billion in new revenue without fares over the next 30 years, or $60 million a year. For the state of New Jersey, it means $14 billion over the next 30 years. For municipalities, it means $1.6 billion over the next 30 years. This is exactly the kind of idea we should be putting forward, not just for this administration, but for the next administration, so they can take advantage of it. Hoboken Ferry Terminal, as many of you know, is a marquee development project that we're involved in. We are about to go to an RFP for an operator for the 50,000 square feet event space that we are going to be renovating with our private partners, and that is going to be another source of revenue for New Jersey Transit. Let me shift to fare box revenue for a minute. There's a lot of talk, and understandably so, on what it costs to ride the system. But for today, I want to just talk about what it costs to not pay for the system. It is unacceptable for some people to pay for their rides and other people not to. That is just not a fair or equitable thing. So we are going to do several things. First, we are going to order fare gates, modern fare gates, that will ensure that there's proper metering of people so that people pay before they go into our train system, number one. Number two, new mobile validation devices are currently being tested that'll be given out to our ticket collectors, both on our buses and our trains, so we can collect those fares easily. Three, we think it is very important that we have a presence of ticket collectors at our train stations. So we have started a new experiment. At 40 train stations over the last several weeks, we've had ticket collectors roaming the platforms and collecting tickets before people get on the train. Not surprisingly, our revenue has gone up. That is a good sign. But we're not done yet. I think this is the start of what I'm going to call a hyper focus on fare enforcement and fare collection. It is not acceptable under any stretch of the imagination for us to say we will continue to focus on a few people who pay their fares because they're honest and let go others who just don't want to pay. I just don't think that works anymore. We can't run a system. If we want a safe, reliable, efficient system, everyone has to pay their fares. That is the way it works. We don't have free busing as far as I know. We don't have free trains as far as I know. We don't have free light rail. That is not the state of New Jersey. We will have to collect the fares, and I assure you, we will collect the fares. Let me switch to the integrity review that I promised at the last board meeting or soon after the last board meeting. We were made aware through a newspaper that two members of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers had improperly charged New Jersey Transit for union business. Our preliminary numbers said that they may have charged us $10,000. I promised the very next day that we would hire an integrity review team to look at our processes and to also validate our preliminary findings. I was briefed on the preliminary findings this afternoon, and it turned out not only were we validated on our initial suspicion, but it turns out it's a little bit more than what we had thought. I'm waiting for the final report to be delivered over the next several weeks, and after which we will consider not only our options for remedy, but we will be looking at all other things that we have to do to make sure this doesn't happen again. In the meantime, I assure you, and I assure the board, that we have already taken very, very important steps to make sure that when people say they are on union business, that they are in fact charging for union, and when they say they're on company business, they are charging for the company. And lo and behold, a few of the members who hadn't worked in several months are working again, and that's a good sign. Let me focus on absorbing. Mr. Weiss talked about how we don't talk about buses. I'm not sure that's an accurate statement, but let me perhaps give him some comfort. Not only have we ordered 2,400 buses, thanks to or in the process of ordering 2,400 buses from 2016 all the way to the next several years. The board has already authorized that. We're doing that, but in addition, we are doing something that we are often forced to do, but we do it because it's the right thing to do. Another private company called Broadway has declared bankruptcy and walked away from their obligation from Bayonne, New Jersey. Although it's only one line, it is another line that we have now taken over because we, again, think it's the right thing to do. We don't do this because we can afford it in our budget. We do it because our customers ask for it and demand it, and we think it's our obligation to make sure we support it. Equally important, you and Justin Davis went with Congressman Kane a couple of weeks ago, along with DMAVA and other agencies, to unveil a shuttle service between Lyon Station and Lyon VA Medical Center. That was an important moment because it not only showed our commitment to veterans, it also showed our keen interest in making sure there's micro-mobility solutions for the last mile and first mile problems that exist in our state. This morning, one of our newspapers talked about the Portal Bridge and the cutover that's about to happen sometime in February. As you know, Portal Bridge is almost 87 or 88% done, and this cutover is a very complex moment in which track, signals, communications, and a whole host of complex systems have to be put in place so the cutover can happen between the new old bridge to the new bridge. We will unveil our plan sometime in December. We will brief the mayors. We will walk them through very specific terms what to expect. It will be a challenge. It will be a complex cutover, but the work has to get done in order for this bridge project to happen, and we believe, as I stand here in front of you, that work will start sometime in February and last approximately 6 weeks. Tomorrow, as somebody mentioned, we have a town hall meeting with Senator Singleton on the River Line. We took over the project, the line, because we believe it is something that we can do better, and we are excited about it. But we think it's equally important to go listen to the customers who ride it every day to make sure we get their feedback. So me and my colleagues are going there tomorrow. Let me finally end with modernization. 10 months ago, when I started this job, I promised that by the time I leave, which is 2 months from now, I will come in front of you and put forward a total modernization plan. So today you'll be considering the final piece of the modernization plan, which is modernizing or updating the 429 multi-level 1s and 2 cars, which, by the way, the multi-level 1s, I unveiled them when I was Commissioner of Transportation in 2006. So they're due for a total rebuild. We are coming to you today to ask for permission to go to do a market test on see who the vendors are, and we'll be back to you with a contract, hopefully sometime early next year. But this is the final piece to keep our commitment, and the governor's commitment, more importantly, that by 2031, we will be not only on fully modernized with the new cars, but by 2035, all the ML1s and ML2s will be totally rebuilt. So we'll have 2,400 new buses, and we'll have a total inventory of multi-level 1s, 2s, and 3s that are brand new. That concludes my presentation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, Board Member Cruz will present the Operations and Customer Service Committee report.
Thank you, Chair. The Operations and Customer Service Committee received an update on trends, analysis, and actions for rail, bus, light rail, and Access Link. We also received an update from the Customer Advocate, as well as an update on the cost of service. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Carson will present the Administrative Committee report.
The Administration Committee received a financial update, and this included a summary of operating results compared to previous year's comparable period, fiscal year 26 budget, 12-month fare box revenue compared to budget, and major balance sheet items. Additional information was provided as part of the agenda materials, including the cost of service, key performance indicators, 12-month fare box recovery, history of vacancies, attrition and hires, ridership and revenue, and a monthly budget to actual comparison for September 2025. The committee also received updates from Human Resources and the Equal Employment Opportunity and Affirmative Action, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Wise will present the Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee report.
Thank you. The Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee reviewed the board items for provision of additional funding authorization and execution of a 10-month extension for Contract 19-002 for the provision of Access Link service in Region 2, Burlington, Camden, Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem counties, contracting out Warren County local bus service and Newark Light Rail state of good repair, track and right-of-way improvement, construction, document preparation, and support services. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Chris will present the action items.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to ask Mike Kilcoyne, SVP of Surface Transit and General Manager of Bus Operations, to present item 2511-49.
Thank you, Chris. We are presenting for approval item 2511-49, provision of additional funding authorization and execution of a 10-month extension for contract 19002 for the provision of Access Link service in Region 2, which is Burlington, Camden, Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem counties. Authorization is requested to extend the contract with Easton Coach Company of Easton, Pennsylvania, and take all other actions necessary to implement and administer the agreement for the continued operation of Access Link Region 2 service for an additional 10-month period from March 1st, 2026 through January 9th, 2027, at a cost not to exceed $10,820,841 plus 5% for contingencies, for a total authorization of $11,361,883, subject to the availability of funds and board approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget. We ask for your approval of item 2511-49.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2511-49? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussions? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Kena?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Chairman, I'm going to have Mike also present item number 2511-50.
Warren County Local Bus Service. Authorization is requested to exercise option period 1 of the contract with Delaware River Coach Lines, Incorporated, of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to operate the Warren County Local Bus Service for a 24-month contract period, January 17th, 2026 through January 14th of 2028, at a cost not to exceed $1,561,766.01, plus 5% for contingencies, for a total contract authorization of $1,639,854.31, subject to the availability of funds and board approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget. We ask for your approval of item 2511-50.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2511-50? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Kena?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We are presenting for approval item 2511-51, Riverline creation of operating subsidiary, New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail, Inc. Authorization is requested to create a subsidiary of New Jersey Transit, a body corporate and politic to be known as New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail, Inc., for the purpose of establishing, acquiring, effectuating, maintaining, developing, promoting, operating, and improving the Riverline and other light rail service in surrounding communities in southern New Jersey, and to take all actions necessary to effectuate the creation of New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail, Inc. Authorization is also requested to adopt the bylaws for New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail, Inc., for the Board of Directors of New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail, Inc., to be comprised of the members of the Board of New Jersey Transit, which members shall serve as long as they are members of the New Jersey Transit Board, and to concur with the President and CEO's appointment of Michael Kilcoyne to the position of Senior Vice President and General Manager of New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail, Inc. Authorization is also requested for the Chair or President and CEO to act on behalf of New Jersey Transit Southern Light Rail, Inc. in negotiating and executing labor agreements. We ask for your approval of item 2511-51.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2511-51?
Motion.
May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Kena?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask Bill Brooks, SVP of Capital Delivery, to present item 2511-52.
Thank you, Chris. We're presenting for approval item 2511-52, multi-level overhaul and modernization project, 429 vehicles. Authorization is requested to enter into and execute a contract with a qualified rail vehicle overhaul contractor for the the multi-level overhaul and modernization project in an amount not to exceed $917,058,512.41 plus 10% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. Authorization is also requested to take all actions necessary or desirable to effectuate the purposes of this resolution, including the negotiation and execution of all agreements, documents, and amendments consistent with the intent of this authorization. We ask for your approval of item 2511-52.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2511-52?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Chris. We're presenting for approval item 2511-53, Newark Light Rail State of Good Repair, track and right-of-way improvements, construction documentation preparation, and support services. Authorization is requested to execute change order number 2 to the contract with AECom of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for construction document preparation and support services of the Newark Light Rail project in the amount of $535,000 plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2511-53.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2511-53?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
May I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Before we adjourn to executive session, I want to let the public know we will return to adjourn the meeting, but no further business will be conducted. May I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters, contract negotiations, the status of pending and anticipated litigations, and matters falling within the attorney-client privilege, including the property acquisition of 525 Martin Luther King Boulevard and 525 MLK Boulevard, Camden, New Jersey, part of the future Glassboro-Camden Line project. May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I hereby reconvene the open session board meetings.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Brontes?
Here.
Board Member Nara?
Here.
Board Member Weiss?
Here.
Board Member Kena?
Here.
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
Chair O'Connor.
Here. Since there is no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
May I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.